Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database is a general purpose relational database provided as a managed service. So let's go into the portal and see how we can create an Azure SQL database in Azure. So I'm here in the portal.azure.com. I'm going into the create resource option here. I'm going to search for the SQL. So I can see an Azure SQL option here. So let me go and create an Azure SQL database. So if you see that Microsoft have provided different varieties of SQL database offering as a platform as a service offering, as a infrastructure as a service offering as well. So if you see, we can go and create a single database, and you can go and create a managed instance. So managed instance provide a past benefit of SQL database with additional capabilities that were be previously only in the SQL virtual machine. So, or you can go and create a SQL virtual machine as well. So let me go and create this Azure SQL. So in the SQL, I have this three options over there. I can go and create a SQL database or a SQL managed instance or a SQL virtual machine. So in the SQL database, I have three different varieties of SQL. I can go and create a single database or an elastic pool or a database server. So let's understand what is a single database, elastic pool, and a database server. So a single database or a great fit for the modern cloud-borne application that need a fully managed database with predictable performance. So if you want to have a predictable performance, then you can go with a single database. It's a platform as a service offering. And if you want to have a more cost-effective solution and you have a one or two kind of database, then you can go for an elastic pool. So elastic pool provide a cost-effective solution for the managing the performance of multiple database with variable usage pattern. And if you want a database server, then you can go and create a database server used to manage group of a single database and elastic pool. So in this tutorial, we will be going to create a single database. So let me go and create the single database. So it will expect a resource group to group your all the resource. So let me go and create a resource group as SQLRG. And it will expect a database name. So let me name it as a person DB. And if you have an existing server for a SQL database, you can select that. In my case, I don't have a server, so I'm going to create a server for our database. So let me name this server as SQL server. With some random number. So it is expecting a lowercase in the server name. So let me rename it as SQL server. And it expects a server login and a password for your SQL server. So let me provide my server admin login. So server admin. I'll provide a password for this server as well. And I'm going to create this server in the East US location. Let me go and add this new server. A new server for my database has been created. So if you see here, it will be asking you, do you want to use an elastic pool? An elastic provide a simple and cost-effective solution for managing the performance of the multiple database with a flexible budget. So this is for a demo purpose, so I'll be not choosing an elastic pool. Ideally, if you have a multiple database and you want to pool it in a cost-effective way, you can go and select the elastic pool. So when you're selecting an elastic pool, it will ask you to select the pool. So I don't have a pool right now, so I'm not going with an elastic pool. And you can change the compute and storage. So here right now it's a general purpose Gen 5 V2, that is a 32 GB storage. You can go and change the configuration of your database if you want. So you can select what all the different options here. You can go and select a hyperscale. It will be giving around 500 to 2 lakhs IOPS and 5 lakhs to 2 lakhs IOPS. Based on your database requirement, you can go and select configure your database. Your cost will be vary based upon your configuration. So let me go into this. I'm being good with this general purpose. So let me go and review and create this SQL database. Before that, let me go into the network tab. So if you see that the connectivity is no access, so let me go and allow the public endpoint. So if you want to allow your this database from your local machine, then you need to allow this connectivity as public endpoint. Or if you want to allow from a private endpoint, then you can go and allow from a private IP address as well. So it is in the preview mode. If you select no access, you can able to access your database from your local machine. So I'm going to connectivity mode as public. So let me go into the additional settings option and see what all there in the additional setting option. So you want to use the existing data. If you want to backup, you can start with a blank database or restore from a backup, or select simple database to populate to the new database. So in my case, I will be just going with an sample database to be populated with this database. So I can demonstrate something over there, right? So I can go and select the database collection and advanced data security. If you want, if you can go and enable that. So let me go into the tag and let me review this, and I'm just going to be create this. So I have an error in the basic, so let me go and correct that error from the basic. So if you see, my deployment is being in progress. So it is been validating my changes, and it will be deploying my first SQL database. So if you see, my person database is being created successfully, and it is in the SQL Server 1986 is a server name which we provided, and the status is been online. So let me go into this person database, and if you see that it's been created in the east location, and I don't have an elastic pool. So let me go into the query editor and see whether the database I can go and query some data into my database. So in the left side menu, I can see few options to here to view my query editor. So if you see that query editor is in preview, I can go and log in into this database. So let me go and log in with this SQL Server. So I'll be providing the password which I provided while creating this database. And it's going to give me an error that I can be able to connect to the SQL Server 1986 because it's need a client IP address need to be authenticated. So the 157.44.144.9 is my public IP. I need to authenticate this public IP to access my database. So now let me go into the firewall setting of this SQL and going to allow that IP address so I can able to access that. So if you see that client IP address, so I will be going to be allowing that client IP address. So I can go and access to this database. So let me go and save this firewall settings. So my firewall settings is being saved successfully. Now let me go and try to connect to this SQL Server. And if you see that I can now able to successfully log into this query editor preview, and I can see the tables. And if you remember, I created some sample tables, so I can see that same sample tables here. So I can go and write the query to retrieve the sample data. So let me go and retrieve this select top 100 data from my product. So let me go and run this. So it will go and retrieve the data. So right now there is, yeah, so it's have some, it will be going to fetch your top 100 record from your product table. So we have created as a SQL database, and we try to connect to the query editor, and we can able to retrieve the data from the database. So that's all about this video tutorial. Thank you.